am so glad you are here. I'm Liz from Magus Books. It is Energy Sunday in my world, so let's get into it. I thought it would be a good day, especially if you're out looking for gifts for folks, to talk about different kinds of energy techniques and show you some of the info on it, just a basic rundown. I'm going to start with one that's maybe a little more obscure to folks. It's called the Alexander Technique, and I would relate this to how you hold energy in your body, where the blocks might be, and how to release those blocks. And those are going to manifest through being sore or uncomfortable if you're aware of it. Some of these blocks are subtle enough that until you really have time to relax and unwind them, you don't see them. You can't feel them because they've become normal. And what will happen then with Alexander Technique is that as those things get released, you're sort of surprised and amazed at how much better you feel when you didn't think you felt that bad at all. So what else have we got? Well, you know the one I like to talk about most, that's the Reiki. Fabulous subject. There are a lot of studies on Reiki that suggest that it does have an impact, that not just the process of doing Reiki, but how it's traditionally taught makes a difference, has an impact on the practitioner and on their clients down the road. So if you've just been doing YouTube on Reiki, grab a book, maybe find an instructor. These are all things that you can take classes on and get certified in person with a live human being, almost no matter where you are, especially the Reiki. Polarity therapy is another really interesting one. I would compare it pretty directly to Reiki. We are talking about, in this case, literally laying on hands or having them above the body, just like Reiki, and balancing out energy. Where with Reiki, it's generally one area of the body at a time. Your hands, the Reiki practitioner's hands are over your head, over your heart, wherever they're going to be. And that's the area of concentration. Polarity is more what the name implies. You're going to work out usually between points, often configured geometrically. So you can imagine like a star over the body, and you're going to balance out those 5 points along those lines that the star runs on. It's a very interesting thing to compare and contrast it to Reiki, and I would recommend getting into it if you are a Reiki practitioner. Let's see. Ooh, that's about products. We're not doing that one. So those are the basics I've got, other than sound healing. This is another modality where you're probably not touching the person ever at all. With all of these, you generally have that option of not touching the person. Oh my goodness, this one's wonderful. And there's a ton of information in books like this, but sound healing is such a broad category. This could be using the Hertz music that you can find on YouTube, which find things that play in stereo and listen with headphones if at all possible. You can also buy fancy machinery that does this. The whole point is the difference in what goes in one ear and what goes in the other. And there are even studies now showing that it can affect positively things like tinnitus or tinnitus, however you say that, it depends on where you live. But if you got the funky ringing in your ears, it can make a difference. And that's amazing to me. It can relax and calm that down. So any of these systems can be really beneficial to get into, and they're also really useful to lay one on top of the other. If you practice Reiki and you know polarity, you can incorporate that into a session. If you are going to do a session using any of these, the polarity, the Reiki, the Alexander Technique, where you're just positioning the body so it'll relax in specific ways, that Hertz music is just going to add a layer on top. Now, that's not the only way you can do sound therapy. This could be singing bowls. This could be music therapy generally. But sound therapy is its own fascinating study. And again, because you can always add sound therapy on top of an energetic healing system like Reiki, it can only really enhance the process. Singing bowl sessions, a little different. I recommend trying those out in a concert. If you're not familiar with them, find someone doing them online. It's amazing the difference it can make in how you feel, how relaxed, how grounded. It's just a beautiful, beautiful practice. And if you're going to get into singing bowls, buy a book, start small. Trust me, you'll get to the 7 chakra crystal singing bowl set that costs thousands of dollars if it's really what works for you and what you're really good at giving to other folks. But find that talent in your energy work and use it. Use it for yourself, friends, and family. Use it for clients. Any of these would be great. And let me just reiterate: sound healing, polarity therapy, Reiki, and Alexander technique, which is as close as I'm going to get to talking about massage probably ever on here, because it's not so much massage as it is just body positioning. I think yoga also would qualify in that sense. They're amazing. Pick one, explore it for the new year, and then pick another one. It's so much fun to work with these modalities, both for the people who go to a practitioner and for the practitioner themselves. And if you are a practitioner, go to a Reiki share. If you're a Reiki practitioner, find other people in your community to meet up with, trade services, and talk about cases. Ethically, of course. Anyway, over my time as always. I hope you folks have a wonderful week. A very happy holiday, whether you're wrapping yours up or you are looking forward to it, or if you're celebrating today. I'll be teaching Reiki 1 in a little bit. It's going to be a blast. What a great day for Reiki 1, summer solstice or winter solstice. If you're interested, you can always sign up on the website. The QR code today will take you to books on energy work and probably also Reiki 1. Blessed be, and thank you so much for being your best magical you and doing those little magical things you can do. You know what they are. Blessed be.